We're in the workshop now. I've got all the lower arms and the slider pins over. Actually, the slider pins are still in the motion. Look how dirty the boot of this car is currently. This is dirt, salt, grime, everything you can imagine, just caked on. I need to clean my plate. We've got the slider pins here. Oh, and I don't know if I updated you guys, the sub is finally gone. So there is that. I think today what we're going to do as well is pull this sub wiring out because it's just chilling in here. I've got no need for it. So I need to pull the bench seat up. I've got all my tools, obviously, my toolbox is here. So I should be able to just pull everything out and do the sub wiring. But I'll do it, all the lower arms are slider pins first because they're actually important. And then I'll spin the car around and then I can work in my little area and do it then. But we'll get there. So first port of call is to get the car around. So we're going to do the lower arms first and then we'll come to the back of the slider pins. But I'll whack all the wheels off and then we'll go from there. Start on this side. This is going to be the learning side, as it's the broken one, so it doesn't matter as much. But if the other side goes wrong, for whatever reason with the part, I'm going to match the parts up first before we start taking anything off, because that is always a good thing to do, it's good practice. I'm going to start on this side, do this one, and move over to the other side. Let's get the parts out first. Alright, cool. So, got one of our arms here. I believe this is for this side. Yeah. This side. It's not straight in there. Everything's the same. I can't see any differences. Bit of oil here they've probably just used to keep it coated in transit. But I'm happy. So, yeah. Alright, so I've had this first part out and this top one out. I've got them both here. One here, and I've got the nut for the bolt. I don't know where the bolt's gone, I'll find it later. We're just trying to get the I'm just trying to get the last one out. This one here is being a bitch, it's really fighting me. So I need to get on it. I hold a spanner on top. I didn't need to hold a spanner for the longer one side of the roll arm because the nut at the back is actually held on. I don't know if that's just a standard thing or if it's so rusty that it just kind of stayed. But it's all good. So we're in the process of doing this lower arm. It's near, we're getting there. We've got one more nut to undo and then the arm will slide out. New one will pop in, bring back up, should be mid. And the torque specs for these, in case you're curious, are FT. Fucking tight. So, pulls, got that arm out, ball joint's pretty free, but you can see that crack is on both sides and that is fucked. So we're going to replace this now, got it all out after a lot of hammering and a lot of lever barring. It doesn't look too bad to get back in, so I'm just going to spray some WD-40, wire brush some stuff out, give it a good clean before I slap it all back in, so that it all seats correctly, it all sits nicely. I'm not sure if you have to track these after you do that arm, but I'm back in and I would just time lapse it, but I want to kind of explain what I'm going to do and then I'll just time lapse what I do on the other side. So, obviously, you're going to get you're going to get your part, you're going to make sure it's all good, no cracks on the side of the ball joint here. No, I'm happy with that, everything looks all good. You take this little cover off of the bottom ball joint, which was stuck for a moment there, that's interesting. I think they're supposed to be like that though, so should be alright. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this in first, then the bottom bit, and then this should just slide straight in. So let's go. charge it up. This bit, there we go. That's gone in. And I'm actually going to do this back bit first. I've changed my mind now. Give that a wiggle. Oh, yes. Straight. Oh, perfect. Perfect. I believe this is going to need strapping. Smash it up with a soft hammer. Got copper on this side, nice soft material. As it compresses, it doesn't damage the component that you're fitting. There you go, it's all in. Now all you've got to do is bolt it back into place, and then we do the same on the other side. So let's do that now. Alright, so we're still going here. I'm currently fighting a losing battle with this fucking ball joint. That's in. The bolt's in this side. But this, it won't go back in. Don't know why. I've tried literally everything. I've actually picked up my body weight and hung off of the lever bar. It wouldn't work. So I'm just gonna have a little look online and see if anyone else has had an issue with this, and then see what we can do. Alright, so I've had a look at the video. We need to jack this up more and lever this, which is what I was fucking doing, but who knows. Anyway, we've got one of the bolts in here, just chilling. The other one's not in yet. And then we've still got to do this side. So for reference, this is what the old control arm wishbone looks like. This is what the new one looks like, nice and shiny and new. By the time we're done with this car, I'm gonna have all new fucking shiny suspension. Also, got all the slider pins out. We've got the long bolt that this goes on. I wish I could tidy these up a little bit. They're very just, nah. I don't know if this coating has to be a thing, because I might just pull this all off, sand it down, and then spray it red quickly. Obviously I won't let it set, but I've got brake caliper paint in here, so I might see what I can do with that, just because it looks really ugly. And yeah, anyway, so this goes on here, and then this nut will go on top, like so. That just slides on there, and this bolts directly into the slider pin. We've already got the rubber around one of them. Now this is what was giving me ag before, I believe. So, and we've got the grease in there, so we need to grease these up, put the collars on, and then I've got all new bolts to slap on this thing as well. But we'll do that in a minute. I want to finish these lower arms first. Just need to do a ton of levering to get this out. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to walk you through step by step what I've done, or what I did on this lower arm, and show you each bit of it. This might be a bit of a longer section of this video. I might even have to split this video into two parts, so I don't know. You'll either see an outro in a sec, or you won't. But let's move on to this bit. So there are 3 bolts you've got to undo for this lower arm. There's one here with a nut on the back. There's one on the bottom side, and there's also one behind the hub here. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our 16-inch socket and our ratchet, and we're going to show you. We're going to pop it on this nut here and crack this off. Now, the lucky thing with this bolt is it tends not, if you just loosen the nut, it tends not to spin the bolt in the front. So you can get away with just doing this, so you don't round the bolt like I did to the other side.
Stinks of WD-40.
It does, yeah. Probably because I'm used to WD-40.
Really?
Yeah, let's speed this bit up. Okay, so once you've got that off, you can hammer this nut, the bolt out. This is very hot. That's all work to get that one off. Then the two other bolts are an E18. Now on mine they're very tight. So I've got a big boy ratchet, the big boy bolts. We'll get there in a minute. First, I'm going to tap this bolt out. So, you get a hammer and a punch. Give it a couple of taps to the hammer first. Soft my hammer, the other one won't work in.
It's dripping.
Dripping. Ow! Motherfucker. So, I'm now just cracking this off. That's round. Try and free it up a little bit. But when I hammer it, you might want to watch yourself. I think it will. Really know. So this is a fellow apprentice of mine's Clio. Look at how mucky this brake fluid is as it goes through that pipe. Yuck. I got it. Grab a punch again. Now we should be able to punch it through. And that is why we can get that out. Look at the amount of surface corrosion on there.
Gross.
Yeah. And at the top of the threads here, all of that rust was built up and out in the bottom not to move. However, put it out. We'll clean those threads up before we put it back in, obviously. But she's good. Now we move on to the next bolt, which I'm going to do as this one. For this front mount here, it's an E18. Just want to get it on a ratchet. So, RE18, put it on there. Make sure it's on off. Don't want to do some snappage. Pull down here. Wow, beautiful. Straight off. No snags, no slippage of the bolt or anything. This one, unfortunately, you have to wind out quite a way. However, I do believe I should be able to switch to the smaller ratchet. Yeah, it's still to work it off, so get it quicker. One thing working on cars that you learn very quickly being an apprentice is leverage is your best friend. We've got leverage, and we do basically anything. There we go, that was not nearly as bad as the other side. That's why it came out a lot easier. So put that up here. Keep all your bolts in a place where you know they are. The last thing we're going to do, we're going to need a nail gun tool. So for each job we've done here, we've needed a different tool. The air gun, which just made my girlfriend shit herself, is. You also need an 18mm spanner for these courses to hold the nut on the top. So we're going to start just cracking it slightly, so make sure it's on. Spin it a little bit. Liam, can I use your assistance, please? Yeah. New spanner on the top, please. The nut on the top, same as inside, if you remember. Just if you could stand there. You on that? happens. And this is probably the one that's in the best nick. The only bits of dirt I can see are right at the end. That came out, an absolute dream, and threads in perfectly as well. So hopefully this side should be easier than the other. So now that all your bolts are out, you want to get a lever bar, soft plug hammer, whack the shit out of it until it comes off. So I'm going to start off with the lever bar. The lever next to the ball joint. Free it up slightly. So the point I'm levering on is between the control arm and where it bolts into here. So put your lever bar in there and just give it a good couple of things like that until the arm's free. Now you want to have movement in all points. So move that back bit of the bush as well. You can see now that's gone very far up. That gives me a bit more movement so that if I hit the hammer down now, instead of this being at the bottom and all the energy gets absorbed, that's going to transfer force down to here, so allow it to move a bit more. Get our hammer. I've lost my hearing. Yeah, that did not work. Also, what I didn't do last time, which I'm going to try this time, is getting the lever bar in here and attempting to just free this up a little bit. See if that helps our case at all. Right, so like I said, keep hitting. Yes! Wow. There we go. Oh, that took a lot out of me, that did. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the Ultra 24 spray. I'm going to spray this part here on the hub, this bit, and all of the joints on the lower arm just sitting there looking pretty. I'm going to slide her in. We're going to go with the back corner first, because that was the one with the shit bolt. Then this one, then this one. The bolts are going to go in these two. Then we're going to jack this up, and we're going to use that, and the leverage we're going to get off of it. Slide this one in, which is really, really shit, but we'll get there. So, 224 spray. Some on there, that side as well. This just greases it up, helps it slide in a little easier. Nice. Give her a little bit. That's there. Much nicer. Right, there we go. Now, like I said, I'm going to go back corner first. I'm going to go back corner first. Make sure that's in. And then go for that one. There we go. We're going to angle this just right to glide into that hole. I had it, man. Alright, there we go. Slide this in. Oh, wow. Right, now, I want to put this bolt in, but what I'm going to do first, I'm going to clean it up, because as I mentioned before, the threads on this are coated in rust and just general build up from where it's been sitting for so long. And this is probably the first set of lower arms that the car's had. That's going to stink. This is probably the first set of lower arms that the car's had. We're going to do that now. Got a little wire wheel machine here. Just want to go just straight on. Right, there we go. And then that. Once again, I'm going to switch the WD on. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of blue roll and just work it in there. Just work through the threads. Because obviously I don't want the bolt seizing on me and snapping. And if I've got to do another control arm, or if someone else has to in the future, I don't want to make their lives a living hell. And just work some blue roll around that puppy. Bring it out. WD-40. Let's see, have a little look in there. Threads are looking quite tasty. So, thread the snap back on. There we go. I'm just going to get it sort of hand tight in there. Put it on. Then we're going to put this one in, and then we're going to work on that last one, because that was a really shit one that gave me a lot of lag last time. So, yeah. Next bolt. First one. How do you do? Clean. Look at all that rush juice that's dripping on the floor. What's that? Is that your car? Should have got it last time it worked. Okay, so two things. A, last time I did this, I didn't have a grub screw. I've just found a spare one. Mint. This is the state of the old bolts. This is one of the new ones that we've got, you can see. They match up pretty much exactly the same. They're maybe like a thread longer, not even. You need a 13mm ratchet spanner ideally to undo these. You actually need a 10 as well for the nut to undo the little... I actually don't know what it is. I think it's like a little weight. You need to get that nut undone. And then the weight should slip off.
How do you do that so fast?
There you go. I don't know what this thing is. I've got another one for the other side that I couldn't put back on last time. I think they're like little weights, but who knows. Anyway, and then you get your 13 again, slide it over. Oh no, I just tightened it now. Oops. Now this one luckily just spin up your hand. There we go. Put that out. See, we've got our like-for-like replacements in this kit. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull everything off of here, including the slider pins from the carrier, and I'm going to line it up side by side. We're going to do a comparison, make sure everything's the same, and slap it all back together. And hopefully the caliper stops sticking. Worst comes to worst, we do have a caliper, but only for this side. So I'm going to do that now and I'll get back to you in a sec. So the bolts for the carriers at the back are 217mm. Ideally, you held this carrier out of the way somehow, but I'm not too worried. It's going to go back on in a minute. It's not like it's going to be suspended there for a long period of time. Now, one thing you don't want to do is drop the carrier on the ground. This can damage it. Right, so now we've got it off, I can actually show you. Come here. So these are your slider pins. This one, look at that. It's working great. I mean, the collar isn't over it. Oh no, it is, sorry. This one's working great. Yeah, this one.
Should it do what that one does?
Yeah. I'm pulling as hard as I can there. Anyway, let's pop all this shit off. See, this is the old slider pin. We're gonna go right side here, left side here. We've got our weight, brace. Oh, I've got to try my best. You better not kill the dude. Oh, that's something stuck in my head. Proper pair of pants. Don't really know what to do. This epoxy fucking rubber bit, you see how tight it is on this one? I can hardly spin it. That is what's fucked us over in this car. So, we'll pop this out, put these down there. Now, bring the camera down. Okay, so these are the old bits. So we've got our 2 slider pins, which you can see the grease on there is pretty expired. The rubbers are all right. Over this slider pin, she was not the one. Compared to our new ones, which are identical in size, look the same, all look good, and the rubber's all good. New bolts. This weight I'm going to try and peel all this shit off of, because I've got no need for it. I kind of want to spray it, but I'm not sure. I might just leave it as it is for now and then just do it at a later date. My hands are very dirty. Well, now what we're going to do is we're going to pop the new slider pins in here with all the grease that we get in this packet here. We should be good. So I'll get back to you once I've done that. So now that we've popped it in, we're just going to work it. Work that move in there. You want to really get it greased up and nice. Now I'm just going to call one of my friends out here and get him to check it and make sure he's happy, because he's done a set of these slider pins before. I haven't. I think that's alright. I'm going to go get him to check, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've actually swapped the pins over now. This one's going in and out very, 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 very easily. And the other one was still a bit stiff. I've just popped it back down there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this other old pin, I'm going to whack some WD-40 around it, I'm going to jam it in and out a jillion times, and then give it a wipe to give it a really good clean out, and then we'll put it in new grease. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Thanks, Kurt. Oh, hello. Nice of you to join us again. So we've now fitted the slider pins. They're all in play. They look brand spankers. Now the brakes obviously don't look, well, the discs and the pads look brand spankers, but the calipers and carriers don't. They've definitely been fucked with a couple of times in their life. So, yeah, alright, well, we tighten these units up. Slap the pads back in, slap the caliper back on, and we should be good to go, and I should have rear brakes again. tight. Pads. Now because I've taken them out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean around here and I'm actually going to re-grease them. I believe I've got some brake pad grease. Right, I've got copper slip spray, that always works. Always works on the notes. Go. The inside one on it. There we go. And these slider pins should compress nice and easy for me to slide the caliper back on. Perfect. Now, as mentioned previously, we have new bolts. So this is going to go on the bottom because this is where the weight ballast thing goes. This is just going to be the top one. I put already some Loctite thread shit around there. So. With brakes and most things, it's always a good idea to hand tighten everything first, or at least thread it in a couple of threads by hand. That top one isn't going in straight away, so we're going to go with the bottom. Ready? There we go. There we go. That's gone in now. So we're going to grab our 13mm ratchet spanner again. Tying these up. That's good. Come on. Oh, good. I've just seen a notification. Alice are losing 2-0. Can't say I'm surprised. Right, we're going to get our weight and our nut again. I'm not going to bother cleaning it up today. Effort. And it's only a 10mm to pull it off, so realistically, I could do that at home at any point. There we go. That's on there. So, as you can see, new slider pins, new bolts. Yeah, the grease, they're all greased up, everything's held on correctly, and that caliper and the carrier aren't going anywhere, the discs are good. So now we're just going to repeat the process on the other side, and I'll come back to you once I've done that. You can put that. Okay, so we're back in the local area with the corsa. I've given it a wash. You may notice it's very clean. much better than it was before. The paintwork, every time I watch it, I'm like, wow, it's bad. I'm happy with the lower arms. There's no more clunking when I steer. I had a problem with, the whole reason of me investigating this to begin with was every time, if I was going at low speed or if I went full lock either way, there'd either be a clicking, almost like a rubber band going boom, 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 boom at every point you turn the steering wheel. Or if I went from side to side like that, or if I went through corners, it would very aggressively knock, and I did not want it to knock anymore. So when we were doing the drop links, as you would have seen in either last video, I don't know how, I haven't figured out how these are going to work in videos, so this will either be one video or the other. But when I was doing the drop links, we noticed the split, and that is what made me order the lower control arms. That was actually only 2 days ago that I did the drop links, so you know, being able to, sorry, 3 days ago, so having the lower control arms show up and be able to fit them within that short space of time is very much a testament to eBay's shipping. However, we as we pulled up, we had a noise, didn't we? We pulled up, I've come around this way and I've gone full lock left, and then all of a sudden the car just went. I think that was very accurate. Looking around the corsa, I just want to show you a few little bits and bobs here and there that I would like to address at some point. So mechanically now, I'm almost 100% happy with how she's doing. She needs a service, that's for, are you joking? Mechanically, I'm happy with how the car is doing. It needs a service. Also, you can see, paintwork wise, it's not the best. So come and look right here. Lacquer peel, just right there. It's starting to do there as well. You can see up here where the pigment is really fading, especially if you look at the comparison between the front wing here. You can really see it on camera. It's quite bad. So the car either needs a polish or a full respray, and I have actually decided that, as I said earlier in this or last video, I would like to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if we do that, as a little added bonus, I will, provided I keep the car for long enough and don't wrap it around one of these trees, I would like to paint the car another colour. We're either going to go with a very, very aggressive candy red with a pearlescent to it. I can hear a fucking train again. If we hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I would like to get this car painted at the beginning of 2025, provided I keep it for long enough. Now, colour options for me are sort of down to about 4. I've looked at getting this thing repainted already, I just don't have the money yet. There's certain bits of the car that you look at and you're like, wow, that's actually quite bad. The back of it already, like I've literally just washed it and it's dirty already. You can see the outline of the corsa from where the standard paint would have been to what the colour's faded to. It looks good in photos, but that's because in photos you put on filters and you edit things and nothing's perfect. But she's alright for now. It's just, I would quite like to get it repainted to do the car some justice, because it's an awesome little car, and I would love to get it painted. However, that will be once I've got a project car and once that project car is on the road. And as I said earlier in this video, I will be buying a project car. And I'll be looking for one to buy and to get running and get on the road so that I can drive that while this thing's in getting painted. Also, with said project car, that will probably take over as being the quote-unquote daily, as much as it will be probably modified. I would like to keep the Corsa, do upgraded subframes, upgraded rear axle, and try and go for some high power numbers. We'll take the lump out, we'll fully forge it, but we're talking years in the future. For now, I suppose the thing for me to do is to get it fully functioning how I would want it to. The leftover bits for me to do that aren't immediate needs are rear shocks, rear springs I'd quite like to do because it hasn't had a set of rear springs in a while. They're a bit crusty at the bottom, but they're not cracked. I would quite like to put the car on coilovers, but it's low enough as it is, and I don't know if I could lower it anymore. Maybe some tint on the windows. It's just small things here and there at this point. I can't go crazy high power, as the car is my only car until I can afford to run another one. So I suppose it's going to be little aesthetic things, some servicing until I can buy a project car, and then we can go absolutely ham on that. But yeah, overall the Corsa it's been the trusty steed, shall we say. It's been pretty good, and I haven't got really any complaints to deal with. I've driven it like a bellend, parts have broken, I've replaced the parts, those lower control arms have gone in, and I'm pretty happy. I'm fairly certain that like squeaking sound that we heard is probably just the brake shield scraping, if I might have knocked it or something. So we'll have a look. But apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe down below. Also, thank you to my wonderful girlfriend for freezing out here in the cold just to film this clip for me. I know she's getting chilly. But yeah, we're gonna go to the shop and just chill for the rest of the day. I've got to edit this and upload this. Whether or not this is a part 1 or part 2, I don't know. I'm probably going to film another little outro segment now, just a quick one, no rambling, for either this or the last video that you saw. But so if you see me wearing the same thing 2 weeks in a row, I'm not. It's all just, I've probably separated them. But yeah, once again boys, thank you so much for 250 subs. I will start looking at getting a project car, but please note it will not be an immediate thing. And if I do buy one, it may be a non-running one that I leave at my uncle's unit if he's got space. I still need to ask him. But yeah, great fixes on the Corsa today. We've got a gearbox mount to do, and that will be in next week's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.